video, and we are now recording both audio and video for the first time video.
Dude, sweet. Welcome everybody back to another episode of Two Dads in a Pod. Kind of coming back from a hiatus. It feels really good to be back though, for sure.
I know, it's been almost a month.
It has been a month.
It has been,
Exactly a month. Well, I don't know, man. 4 weeks, I know. I don't know if that technically means a month, but
Everything's a month in COVID years.
right? Isn't that true?
I mean, we were supposed to be shut down for 2 weeks.
Were we?
Yeah,
Oh.
originally.
Oh, I guess I didn't pay attention to that. But exciting news. We have video up this time.
We're recording it, see how it goes. I forgot to take that switcher logo off, but I'll take it off later.
Oh, okay.
On the
Yeah.
on the feedback, but
Also, in exciting news, we have our first guest today. We're welcoming my brother, Evett Lopez, also a dad. Welcome to the show, dude.
Thank you guys for having me. Top of the morning locals.
Oh man.
so what do you said you had a couple subjects you want to talk about?
Yeah, actually, there was one that I wanted to come back to that I was thinking about that we briefly talked about in our first episode, our pilot, which was kind of like talking a bunch of different shit that we never really kind of went back to sometimes, and we just
specific.
Yeah. I'm getting there.
Before we start, can I just clarify something real quick?
What's that?
So on the last episode, I believe my brother Walter was talking about when the vase fell down.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you
I love
remember
that.
that
Yeah,
story.
it's good memory.
But he said the story a little bit wrong.
Okay.
There's always two sides to the story.
He was
Yeah.
there, but all right, go.
Yeah, I was there. So when it first originally broke, he said it backwards. He said we broke it first. No, it was the opposite way. His godmother's daughter broke it first.
It did happen that way.
Yeah.
Huh?
And
Oh,
then my
shit.
mom, or our mom, glued it. And then she kind of tried to.
We like to issue an apology.
I heard it. I was laughing. That was probably one of my favorite parts of that episode. But he said it wrong, and I just want to clarify.
All right, my bad.
So she broke it first. She glued it back, and then
I still remember just watching her glue that back.
yeah, she glued it back. She didn't say anything to them. It was cool. And then she flipped it over where you could kind of not see it, but you could still see it. And then we ended up breaking it, and then that's when she got pissed off. But I just want to clarify that because he said it wrong.
Whose fault would it be then? Because you threw the pillow.
But you ducked. You never duck.
Yeah.
I mean, either way,
was
I took the,
you know what,
I
that
took
was
the
the-
blame, though. I took the
It
blame.
didn't matter. We both got yelled at.
Yeah, but she was more mad at me. I
It didn't
remember
matter.
telling her.
I ducked for the very first time because that was like my first moment of reflex. Ultra instinct kicked in that one time.
Yeah, I've had a lot of moments where I thought Ultra Instinct would have been helpful when I was
Yeah,
a kid.
plenty, but
Yeah,
no,
plenty.
didn't happen.
I
Plenty
don't
of
know.
times.
Yeah, there was one time I was trying to reach a glass by myself, right? And I was still short back in the day. I was probably 5. And I don't know why, but I felt like scooting it might help me grab it. And I was already on like tippy toes on the counter kind of thing. And I don't know why the glass was so high. That's a question I have to
Because-
ask my mom. That was a setup. So
Because you're not supposed to be up there. That's why.
Exactly. So I'm sliding it.
Unspoken word that you're supposed to know of it.
Yeah.
You just don't.
So I don't know if there's like extra power in my fingertips. And it went behind me, right? And I'm thinking, I've seen a lot of like Dragon Ball Z or whatever, I'm thinking I'm going to catch it with my foot, like behind me.
Yeah.
Like I just extended my foot.
Yeah.
I didn't feel the glass touch my foot at all. I just hear behind me, and you hear from the living room, "Que chingados." I was trying to get a glass, and they're like, "Why didn't you just ask for one?" Good question. I plead the fifth after that.
I mean, do it yourself sometimes as a kid. You know why? Because if you asked, they'd be like,
No.
But But anyway, I kind of wanted to go back to the being in the hospital when you're ready for your kid to be born. Because I remember, like, do you remember how they pitched it to you guys at all? I know, Evett, you have a story with that, which we'll get to, but like,
my situation was way
oh,
different.
completely
so,
different. We'll
yeah.
get to that, but like,
his was a taxi cab.
oh no! Actually, just
Oh.
go for it. His was unbelievable.
Oh
You-
yeah, let's
you-
hear it.
So
Give a backstory and everything.
backstory. So
Date, time. I'm just kidding.
I have dates.
Obviously,
and
you're gonna know
times.
a date.
Yeah, no, actually, you probably
You
would
know
know
the
because
date.
Yeah, I just remember Anissa, my girlfriend, she wasn't feeling good. At work, they went to the hospital. Twin Cities, they told her she was fine. They went home. And then we went back. She stayed home. We went back to work. She wasn't feeling good again. But we thought it was nothing. The doctors at Twin Cities said everything was fine. Fast forward a couple days later, we go see my niece, Walter's daughter, Lexi's soccer game, and she's not feeling good. But at the same time, we thought it was nothing. So we leave the game. We're about to go home, and then she's telling me, I don't feel good. I was like, do you want me to take you to the hospital? But I thought she was going to say no. She said, yeah. We went back to Twin Cities. They took forever. Finally, they're monitoring her, and they're like, we need to transfer you to Sierra Vista. So long story short, we're on an ambulance going to Sierra Vista. And we don't really know what's going on. Doctors are telling us, you may have to stay here for a few days. But those few days turn into longer days. And I don't know if you guys ever been in a hospital where you can't leave, but you kind of just feel like you're in jail. It was just a crazy situation. Finally, they're like, it was September. They're like, so your son might have to be born soon. And he was due on.
And how many weeks was Anissa?
She was 29 weeks.
29 weeks.
29 weeks, yeah. And my son was supposed to be born December 9th. So we're already on September 23rd.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so anyways, they're telling us like we're gonna try to push it out, but Anissa, you have to be here. Let's try and keep you here for 40 weeks. And we're already there for a few days, and we're just like,
yeah, dude, it's fucking fun.
We're like, damn, like, I don't really want to be here no more. And she's like crying, like she doesn't want to be here no more, but they want to monitor. Yeah, crazy time in my life, but yeah, my son ended up being born September 27th, so he was only 29 weeks and 4 days. We never had a premature baby in our family or her family.
Yeah.
So it was a new situation for us. We ended up giving birth. The whole. Let me give you a little story about that because. So I didn't know what was happening, so I went to my truck. Cried a little bit. I didn't want her to see me crying because I did not know what was going on.
Yeah.
I come back there like, all right. Her grandma was like, I've been trying to call you. They're going to deliver the baby today. I'm like, today? Like,
yeah,
so,
you prepared for that.
Yeah, so I called my family. I text my family, like, my son's going to be born. My mom comes. Her mom comes, and family comes as well. But they're like, when they prep you up, like you have to put
the gown and everything
and so I'm sitting with my mom, and she's giving me a little story like, don't scare Anissa. The baby's going to be small. Don't make facial expressions. And I'm like, she's like, it's going to be really small. And she's like holding her hands like
trying to judge it.
Like there's going to be two hands involved?
Yeah, she's like
technically.
So I'm like, all right, cool. And then the doctors come, and they're like, we're prepping her up, but we'll let you know when to come in. When you do come in, we won't have her open or anything, so you don't have to see anything, right? So I'm nervous sitting in a little room with my mom, and finally they call me over, like, let's go in. The first thing I see is Anissa cut wide open, and I'm like,
they just told you that.
Yeah, they told me no, but they had it. But at the same time, I understand, like, it was an emergency.
Oh, okay.
So. But I'm like, damn, like I walked in, and
I kind of feel they should have like prepped you and said you may see her open instead of saying, nah, don't worry about it. You're not gonna see her open.
The first thing I smelled was burnt flesh.
Oh shit, I don't know if you guys ever I never smelled. Okay. I don't think I smelled that.
So like, that's why I smell, and I'm like, maybe somebody else was open before. Like they didn't clean this out right.
Kind of hospital.
Yeah, but then I walk in, and I just see like they're open. She's open, and I'm like, okay, well then they.
How was it down the?
Yeah.
Down the middle.
The outside were out. The insides were outside, right?
Yeah.
That's how it looked.
Yeah.
I
that's
remember
crazy.
somebody explained it to me. Is like when they had a C-section,
Yeah.
they show her the baby after they pulled her out, whatever, and she's like, "Oh, and what the fuck?" Like she
Yeah.
was still obviously she was
she
still
was
awake.
right.
Yeah, for C-section, I think you're still awake. You're
Yeah,
just
she-
super
Yeah,
numb.
yeah.
Yeah. So she was having a C-section.
Yeah.
So anyways, they come. They sit me right next to her. Like I'm looking at everything. Like
Yeah.
I've seen the situation. I'm also trying to talk to her because like they told me
Keep
her so
talking,
that
yeah.
she's not really thinking about it.
Yeah.
But then I'm talking to her. They had a curtain, so I couldn't really see. But
Yeah.
I mean, you can
But-
see her face, right?
no, a
Yeah.
curtain,
Like-
so I couldn't see her body.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Like,
So,
I
like,
think like
halfway down.
boob
Yeah,
down or
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like, I'm talking to her and stuff, but then I hear the doctor saying, "I can't find the baby," and then I'm like, "What the fuck?" Oh, I'm sorry. Can I?
Yeah, you
cuss?
can.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
curse.
it's explicit. so
We
don't
put
worry.
explicit on there.
Yeah.
Okay, so
We were
I'm
talking about
I-
guts and stuff now, so
About what? About what?
we're talking about gory stuff now.
Yeah, I mean,
so I, was
I don't
like,
think I don't expect an 8-year-old to be listening to this right now. So
yeah, so I was like, "What the fuck?" And then, so I look up and I see the doctor's glasses, and you can see the reflection, and I see like everything how they're cutting her. On one point, the doctor got on the table and started like it seemed like he was sawing her, like
Yeah.
like like when you kill like an animal, you're trying to like saw it.
you
know?
just, to you, it just looked
That-
like a butchery at that
Yeah,
point.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
exactly.
Like a carniceria. That you
Yeah,
Carniceria.
exactly. That's exactly. you guys dead on.
What do you want? Tripas, lengua?
¿Asada?
Yeah.
¿Quieres asada? ¿Qué quieres, primo? ¿Qué quieres?
Yeah, exactly. That's how it was. But they're like, we can't find the baby, and then I'm like, damn. And then like at one point she didn't talk to me, so I'm like,
Now you're like, is
now
she
I'm like,
alive?
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And I'm like, fuck, is she alive? And then
Did they have the heart monitors on too?
yeah,
Or-
they had everything on.
It just, but to
it's
you, just like white noise at that point, right?
The monitors weren't near me. They were.
Oh, okay. So you can
Near
hear a
them,
beep or anything, or
I can't.
and I was just saying it was
like,
white noise to you because you
Yeah,
just,
yeah, because I was just trying to see. What's
Everything was
going
all
on.
visual.
yeah.
Finally, they found him. They took him out, but I didn't cut the.
Umbilical cord.
Yeah, I didn't cut nothing. Like
Okay. Wow.
they had told me though he may not cry, so don't get scared.
Yeah.
But he came out and he started crying, like so that was like.
That was like a big.
You
thing.
got a fighter there.
No,
yeah,
no,
so, yeah, so
You
he
should see him now, man.
Now he's like, why are you crying all the time?
Yeah, so but I didn't get a hold of him, nothing. They just grabbed him, weighed
Yeah.
him,
Yeah.
they took the time, and then they
Ship
took
him off?
Yeah, they took him, and then they're like, you can't see him till we're ready, and then
Make sure he's good,
The
Yeah.
vitals and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah, they have to take
hooked
them.
up.
Because they have to incubate them right after
yeah,
that.
yeah. So it's just like I saw, like him coming out in a way, and then like they do everything, but they just like put him. And what is it like a
The-
like a baby
Like a
bed?
little
Yeah,
bassinet looks like
yeah,
a baby bed.
yeah.
Yeah.
They put
they just rolls away. Yeah.
Yeah, they put the what's it called the
Incubator.
yeah they put that on and they just took him away.
I remember you were telling me that. I remember you told me when you were watching Anissa get butchered, and I remember you said that at one point like her body was like
Oh, yeah,
jerking,
yeah,
and like it
because-
was like pulled and jerked. Because I mean they're trying
Yeah.
to get
Yeah,
the
they're
baby
they're
right,
looking around.
and it's not like I'm sure it's not like how you see in the movies and stuff where they're just like, oh hey, your baby's born after
Yeah.
C-section, right? Or
No,
is it
no.
what-
Well, that's the one thing I think movies and shows never really show is how long the process of any labor is. There's,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
some quick ones. Don't get me wrong. They're out, you know.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. But
But most of them are super long.
how long did it take them to take out
Think about it.
Jade? If you remember. I mean,
don't
I'm sure it felt like
remember.
forever, but
it took forever. I mean, also they had another emergency C-section. So
Oh,
they were
right before
Yeah,
that?
so they were trying to hurry us up.
Oh,
Shit, yeah.
that's why you thought there was somebody the burnt
burnt
meat
flesh
was
before
from-
that?
Yeah,
probably somebody
yeah,
else.
'cause,
Okay. Oh, maybe it would have, but it was also probably her.
So they were like, we need to clean this up and everything, and then they started counting if they had every.
Organ.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because they don't want anything left in.
Yeah, so then they're like, we can't find one thing.
Oh god damn it!
And
Which
but-
doctor was this?
no,
never play hide and seek with this doctor.
no, they were. I understand.
You'd win
like,
if you hid.
they were in a hurry.
Yeah.
But to be totally honest with you, they were probably really good doctors. A lot of good nurses there. So I have nothing bad to say about Sierra Vista. They were
No,
yeah, they were great for us. They were great for my son. Nothing bad.
Twin Cities, though. Okay.
Yeah, Twin Cities.
Well,
yeah,
I'll leave that as that.
this is why this story is
Yeah.
coming up. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, they were great. Don't get me wrong, they were great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm about to have my second kid, and that's where she's gonna be born. But yeah, they were great. I just understand the situation. It sounds funny now because
oh yeah, because
they were like counting everything. Like I never it was my first time, you know.
course.
So they're counting everything. They're like, oh, we can't find one thing, and then they found it, and then like they had to recount everything, and then they're like, all right, well, all right, you guys are done. And as soon as they're pulling us away, the other one's coming in. I'm seeing the other one come in, like
tag out.
yeah.
shit, dude.
That's crazy.
But,
You say that at one point, like some blood like fell on your shoe, and you just kind of like
no,
hit
it
it over.
didn't fall on my shoe. It fell on the ground.
Oh, and you
But-
covered it so she wouldn't see it. Isn't that what you told me?
No, I turned away so she didn't see me making eye
Oh, okay,
contact.
yeah,
Oh,
okay.
yeah, I actually forgot about that, but good thing you brought it up. Yeah, so blood dropped, but it wasn't near me. But I just looked,
Yeah.
and then but I looked away real quick because she was like, "What's wrong?" And then I'm like, "Nothing." And then
Everything's fine.
yeah, I was like, "You're fine." And I made small talk.
Yeah.
We actually chose the godparents while
Yeah.
this was happening.
Oh well, okay.
Yeah, yeah, it was something we chose. She told me who she wanted. And I said I'm good with it. And I had to keep her not thinking about her thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, like the doctor had the knees on the table. Like cutting, trying.
His
to
knees are on the table.
Yeah, yeah.
He was.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
Either he was really short, or he was like
Yeah,
really.
He's like, let me
trying
get
to
some
get
good
it
leverage here.
Yeah.
But yeah, then once they're like, all right, you could come in. I'd never been to what's called a NICU.
A NICU,
Yeah,
yeah.
NICU.
Yeah, I didn't even know what that was at the time.
I think it's just short for something, right?
It's a newborn intensive care unit.
ICU, yeah.
Yeah.
Newborn in a NICU.
So anyway, I'm going in. And I see a bunch of babies, a bunch of monitors. They're like, "Here's your son." My son had tubes everywhere. He had needles poked in him. Like, it was just weird. The only thing is, he wasn't small like my mom thought.
Oh, so he wasn't a.
No, he wasn't small.
He
No,
wasn't like
no,
this.
He was actually 15 inches.
He's a long little guy.
Yeah, he was long, except he was only 2 pounds 2 ounces.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was the only one that got to see him. Anissa didn't even get to see him for.
Well, they had to patch her up.
Yeah, but she still couldn't see him that
Oh,
day.
yeah.
I think. I want to say maybe it took 1 or 2 days before she could actually go in to see him.
Yeah.
So I was the one that was just kept going.
Yeah.
So for you, definitely the hospital experience was more like a jail.
Yeah, because
And
we
do
stayed
you-
there for 10 days. Me and Anissa did. I stayed
Yeah.
with her. I only went home maybe 1 or 2 times to go shower, but they never told me anything like you could shower here. Later on, I found out like I could have showered
Yeah, you
there.
could have brought your
You know?
stuff.
Yeah, I
You
was
didn't
like-
get the rundown because
No,
you were
so-
early. That's why.
Yeah, so and then we didn't have anything ready. We
No,
thought
well,
we-
of course
yeah,
not. You had to
we
just
had
go-
a-
it was
we-
a literally emergency situation. You had to leave.
Yeah, we thought we had all kinds of time.
But what was the thing that that Anissa was diagnosed with?
Preeclampsia.
Preeclampsia.
Yeah.
And do you know exactly what that
She
like
had,
for people who don't know? Like what is that?
she had high blood pressure.
Mhm.
The what is it called? Where the babies
The uterus?
no.
Oh.
I'm trying to blank.
Where do babies come from?
No. The pouch or what is it? The
Oh, the what's it called? The placenta.
the placenta. Yes, they said she had a placenta of an old person.
What? Oh wow.
Yeah,
That was like Benjamin Button kind of situation.
Placenta.
Yeah, so that's why.
So it just
Yeah, I don't even think he was getting like the full like everything. she
Nutrients and
see-
stuff, yeah.
That's
exactly.
crazy.
Yeah,
how did are these things that I mean, did they tell are these like random things that happen? Like or is there any like clinical backstory with
I just
with her family or anything? Is that-
Genetics.
like I
Which
said, nobody from both sides of the family has ever had.
No, of course not. But like is there
premature.
anything that the doctors explain like on preeclampsia?
no, nothing really. It's just a kind of.
It just happens and then, yeah. Yeah, that sucks, dude. I mean, I had heard about it vaguely before it happened to you guys. And when it happened, I was like, oh shit, like that's, I've only heard about maybe like one or two.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was one person and throughout high school and middle school and stuff like that I met that he said I'm a
Eclamptic baby.
yeah, something like that. Like he was born super early and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, and I didn't want to be mean, but I'm like, is that why you're a little off? I'm, like, I'm not sure if that's a thing, but I guess we'll find out when your kid's a lot older. We'll touch base in like 20 years.
Yeah.
No, he's probably the exact same way as I
Yeah.
am. He looks like his mom, but he acts.
He acts just like him.
Yeah.
I swear, whenever I see him, I'm like, man, it's like seeing a little you when we're little.
Yeah, he's all about sports and
He's all about sports. He's pretty tall. He's
he
because
also-
my Donovan and Jair are a month apart,
Mm-hmm.
and you wouldn't be able to tell when you see them close to each other. You wouldn't be able to tell that someone's premature,
Yeah.
which is I mean, it's cool. You know, it's cool
Yeah.
seeing that.
Yeah, I think the interesting part is I've only seen like videos of like time lapse, but when they're in the incubator to the time where you can actually like start moving them around or actually go home and stuff like that, like their growth in that time period is
Yes.
pretty crazy how much they
Yes.
grow.
Yeah, so let me talk a little bit about that. So he actually stayed there for 3 months. But like I said, when you walk in there, you see a bunch of babies. You know, you see the nurses taking care of them. Like their shifts are crazy. Like they
Yeah.
always have to be there. So I think sometimes they do doubles. You know, every time we walked in, we usually see somebody new. But yeah, so I'm thinking when they told me like as soon as he's doing good, he could leave. So I'm thinking like, all right, it's only could be like a few weeks, maybe. You know, that I don't know. You know,
It's your first time
my
at this
first
point.
time.
This first
Like I
baby.
didn't know what this was.
You see
know?
like chalk marks, like tally days on the
Yeah.
on the wall from like other nurses.
But yeah, ended up taking 3 months. I saw a lot of babies come and go, and we're still there. And I'm just like, and every day we're going to check up on them. Every day Anissa's pumping milk to go give them. She had a because he was born early. She had to pump early, so like
Yeah.
she had to break the seal, you know. But yeah, every day I'm seeing like new babies come in, new babies, and then they're leaving before my son, and it's just like
Was it kind of like? Was it kind of
I'm
like?
I'm happy for the families
yeah.
and the babies, but I'm just like, damn, we're still here.
Was it kind of like being at a Denny's and you see like other people are getting their orders taken
Yeah,
except for yours?
yeah, exactly. In a way, yeah.
In a way, I know.
We were here first.
But then
Can I
also,
speak to a manager?
but then also saw 2 very sad stories too. Like,
Yeah.
I saw this baby that, because at the time, my son he was probably the smallest baby there, and then later on, a few weeks later, I saw another baby. But I don't really go look at the babies like that. But when you walk in, you kind of just see them.
You
real
kind of
quick.
can't like
Yeah.
hide.
Yeah,
like,
so
right.
yeah,
You have tunnel vision in a way, but still, you
Yeah,
you
this-
still see them.
yeah, I saw the baby and like I see the parents hugging each other and stuff, and you know I've been through it, so I kind of know. At this point, I know because I've been there a little bit longer than them. But then like I look at the baby real quick, like a quick glance, the baby's way smaller than
And
my
your
son, than EJ. And then that baby was how my mom was picturing.
Oh,
Yeah,
A little
with the-
tiny
yeah.
palm. Yeah.
Mhm. And about them, like I don't know if the baby made it or not.
Yeah.
I remember coming in one day, like I said, we would come every day, and I just see the parents in the hallway hugging. I don't know if they transferred him to a different hospital or he didn't make it.
Right.
So that was just like one of the things where you're just like, damn, like you know, just be patient. You know,
Yeah.
be patient. Another story that really made me sad was that a baby was there, and then I just hear them talking, the nurses talking like the mom has never came to check up on the baby.
That's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah,
Well, some people just go through it differently, I guess, but
no, there's a
I mean-
backstory to it. But
Oh, there
I
is,
found out
okay.
later. Yeah, but
Yeah.
she and then they're like, the mom's not bringing milk, you know. So like, you have to sign different things. Like if you're, like if the mom's not producing enough milk, you have to sign to like waivers allowing them to get milk from somebody else
Yeah,
that's pumping
yeah.
that's willing to donate. They check They also
Yeah.
check that the milk before it goes into
Yeah.
the baby. So they don't have nobody assigned for it, and the baby needs to eat. So they had to make. I think they ended up saying, well, if they're not here, then we have to go ahead and
Sign for them.
sign for them. Like
Yeah.
we need to feed them. And then all of a sudden I hear them like, well, we need to find
A donor.
no, we need to find parents for him,
Oh,
like because the parents weren't
so
coming.
obviously not even the dad went
No,
or whoever.
no, yeah. So they had to find adoption parents.
Mm.
So
But they knew who the actual parents were, right?
they were calling.
But they won't answer
wouldn't
or
answer,
nothing.
No.
I mean, some people really just don't deserve to be parents.
Yeah.
Or to be having kids.
Later on,
It's-
I told these stories to people, and like I don't know how it came about, but the mom was in jail.
shit. Dude.
So that's
It's a
why.
small town.
Yeah.
Like we find out these things.
Yeah,
also?
It's about county, really.
Yeah.
like the mom was in jail for some reason. But either way, like you said, there's some parents that don't deserve to be parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank God. Once the time came, I got the phone call from Anissa. I was at work that we could take him home. And yeah, we took him home, and it's been
That's
great.
good. So you're really just. I mean, do you feel robbed out of the traditional experience of, having a baby where like it gets pushed or?
Yeah, but at the same time, it opened my eyes to a lot
Right,
of things.
right. So obviously you don't.
I've always heard about like premature babies and stuff through TV, but I never experienced it. We've never experienced it. So it's a different thing. Like, I mean, even because he was so premature, we always had to take him to the doctor. We always had to do different checkups than regular kids. We had to take him to. They thought he had something. Ended up being that when they did the blood work on him, they didn't put it away right away or something like that. So it shows something. It shows something
Something was
else.
missing, was it?
Yeah. So we
Okay.
had to go to. We had to take him up north to the children's hospital, and I've never been to a children's hospital. I don't know if you guys have. So it's just like, it's like a kid friendly. Like it's
Yeah,
like
it's
a
all
big playground. It's like,
Oh, okay.
but then I see other things there too. Like I remember seeing this girl with cancer.
Yeah.
Like a little girl with cancer, and like that broke my heart. She, like, I don't know if she just went through chemo or whatever, but they're trying to feed her, and they're like, "Come on, sweetie, you need to eat. Like, at least take
Try not
one
feeling
bite.
good, yeah.
Like, they're like, take one bite, and then like, do you want juice?" And she was just saying no. And like, I never been through that, through that shit. Like, so I'm like, she's only a few years into this world and has to go through that shit.
Yeah.
But they made it kid friendly. I know McDonald's plays a lot of part. Like
The
to
St. Jude's commercials.
Yeah.
So ever since then, I donate money now.
Okay, so that-
so like I saw, like I was robbed, but at the same time, like I said,
You learned something.
I learned something, opened my eyes. So every time they're like anything for children hospitals or children, I'll go ahead and donate money. Like
Okay.
even in like when you go order food at fast food or something, they're like, "Oh, this is for a children's hospital. Do you
Yeah.
want to donate money?" I'll say yeah. But yeah, it was a different experience. Thankfully he was good, but you see a lot of different shit that you may hear it, but you never like actually.
Normally see it, yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean, they really got to start portraying dads on TV and
A little bit, yeah.
a little better than passing out and shit. Like,
yeah, I didn't pass out,
Oh, no, of course not. No, you haven't said you
I
were.
didn't pass out.
Yeah,
but
you
it's
were.
just like
You had to keep composure, so your girlfriend doesn't freak out while she's being basically chopped up. You know what I mean? And we see those like videos where dads like passing out and shit. It's like you're not even
Yeah.
giving birth, man.
They
Like,
pass out.
it's the only time I'd be like, man up, man. Like,
yeah. It was a different experience for sure. You have to kind of be strong to go through.
Oh, yeah.
You have to
be strong for more than just yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I went to go cry in my truck. I'm not a person that cries. Walter knows that I don't really cry. It's not a bad thing neither. I just, like you said in one of the episodes, we're raised
not to cry. Yeah,
so like
we're raised not to cry.
Or the men at least.
The men, yeah, we're told
exactly.
not to cry.
And I remember you guys mentioning that in a
episode.
And yeah, so like I didn't cry in front of her, and like I didn't want her to see me crying. That's why I went to my truck.
Your truck, yeah.
and I stay there, But I prayed and I said, I hope everything's okay. If everything's gonna be okay, show me a sign. And like no lie, I came back up, and that's when they're like, "You're gonna keep. We've been trying to call you." Anissa's mom. Anissa's grandma was like, I've been trying to call you.
Good to go.
She's about to give birth.
Oh,
and then from that point on, like even though like I said I saw a lot, I had a feeling everything was gonna be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a crazy experience. And now Anissa, she's 29 weeks in 5 days.
And you're having a girl.
And I'm having a girl, so so far everything's looking good.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that 29 weeks was when she got that right. So
yeah.
Are you guys a little more nervous right now that it's like at 29 weeks, and like do you guys kind of get like flashbacks of at 29 weeks and
me? Not so much, just because she looks more healthier than
she did last time.
Last time. Yeah. I know she gets a little bit worried just because it happened to her. You know, like she was the one that experienced it.
I'm sure you get some PTSD from that.
She experienced it, and I just watched, and I was there. Like it's a different
Are
situation.
there? I know when you said the what's that?
Preeclampsia?
No, the whatever the baby's in again.
Placenta?
The placenta. Have
they
they been checking up more on that now?
So,
yeah.
So she's been going through, or we have actually, because I would go to the appointments with her.
Uh-huh.
She's been getting monitored way more than with EJ.
Right, because they now know what to look for just in case.
Yeah, so they did a bunch of tests. They've done a bunch of. We've been going through a bunch of appointments. Now we're at a point where we have to go every Monday and Thursday to get.
Oh shit! Okay.
Just to get monitored, just to see how the baby's doing. So they're checking up more on her, and yeah, I think
good.
Everything's good so far. Yeah, they haven't said anything about the placenta. I think it's just one of those times where it just
happened.
Yeah, it just happened. Yeah.
How did what's your feeling towards having a girl?
Well, I've always wanted 2 boys.
Yeah, I know that's.
And everybody was like, "Well, you having a girl would be different." And I tell everybody I have a lot of nieces that I feel like they're.
I called it. I knew you were having a girl.
Yeah, he did. But to me, I was like, I have a lot of nieces. They're like my daughters. I love my.
It ain't so until you have your own.
Yeah, the nieces you can give back.
True.
Yeah.
True. But yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be mad about it. I only said I wanted 2 kids, so this is my second, and we're done. But I do feel a little bit different now. Like on my Instagram stories, once I found out the next. Well, actually, before I posted on Instagram, when we had a baby gender reveal and I saw pink, I was telling all the uncles and the godfathers and everything, like, once she starts dating, we need to be, like, have you guys seen Den of Thieves?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
In the home gym, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling everybody.
Everybody's 50 Cent.
50 Cent.
50 Cent's kid. Yeah,
it's 50 Cent's kid. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm telling all the uncles and godfathers and everybody, like, I was like, plus by then EJ he'll be like an adult maybe, because he'll be 4 years older than her.
I mean, given that she brings a boyfriend home at like what 15.
Okay, that's assuming all the godfathers and uncles are like in good shape too by then.
Fucking doesn't matter, man.
Oh, does it matter?
I know they're not.
It doesn't matter.
You know how
I know it matters,
So-
but you also have to just look intimidating. I mean, if you have
Yeah.
friends that just at least look intimidating, put on a good mad face, I think to a little kid or not a little
you
kid.
might have to hire a few people if they're not. though.
I may have
I'm
to.
tell- I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Maybe. Maybe.
Just like pull up to Oakland or something. Hey, get in.
Just get
What?
somebody at the gym who just works out good. Be like,
Yeah.
hey, you want to make a quick $50? Just come over here real quick,
Well, I would start that conversation a little differently.
Yeah.
Well,
I was
I
like,
didn't-
yo, I got a daughter. Wait, we can one more second.
No, I didn't say it in the locker room. You know what I mean?
But yeah, that scene just kept playing through my mind over and over. So I had to post it on my Instagram story.
I always felt like that day would be like ironically enough, you'll be having all your guy friends over at the same time. Be like, oh yeah, you were coming in. Oh well, I brought so and so. You remember him, right? You haven't seen him in a couple of years, but yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm happy. You know, I know it's gonna be a different experience.
Yeah, I personally always think it's good for a dad to raise a daughter.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, you know it. I mean, you're Miguel. You're getting there. She's getting older. I have 2. Mine's 10. The oldest is 10. It really opens your eyes, especially
it's probably gonna make me a little bit soft. Not that I'm hard or anything, but like.
Show me a tattoo.
He has plenty of them. So.
Yeah. But it'll probably make me a little bit soft.
So it's always a good thing, given the fact that we were, we come from a generation where we were told never to cry.
Oh yeah, my dad.
I mean, I was
poker face.
Oh yeah,
you know?
and I mean, we talked about earlier in the episode, in one of the episodes, where you had that one moment where you said that your brother saw your dad just like sitting by himself in a tractor for 2 hours.
Like thinking about life or something.
Yeah, who knows what it was thinking about. Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure it was probably like him digesting a bunch of things that he put off. Because you can only bottle up emotions for however long before it just starts overflowing. And you don't even know what the fuck to do about it.
No.
So being a little more emotionally sound kind of helps you do that, so you don't just break down and sit in the corner or whatever and just start thinking about, did I fuck up?
Or worst case scenario, start drinking, have a different kind of outlet that's,
Exactly. A little more
dangerous.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, I think with Sophia being a girl, like I don't, for some reason I don't worry too much about it.
Mm-hmm. I
don't know why, but I feel like she's gonna like handle herself a little bit better than what I've seen from like female family, but you never know. There could be that one guy that kind of like the devil in disguise kind of thing, where like kind of sneaks into her life and like, for instance, Prince Charming, and then later on she's hiding bruises or something. That's what I'm worried about. But
yeah.
But for the most part, it's like we'll vet the guy first, and see, Hey,
if you ever need us to come over, just out of nowhere.
I think so. Back when I was like 18 or something, I moved out. As soon as I turned 18, I moved out, and I lived with a friend, and she had a guy over, right? And I was downstairs, she was upstairs, and they were hanging out up there. And when they come, I was like, "Hey, this is I don't know if it was a boyfriend or not. I just know it was a guy."
Okay.
He goes, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm like, and I'm watching TV, and I'm like, I just do that, like, "What's up?" I'm not, I'm 18, bored,
You look OG at that time.
Yeah, and I was a little bigger.
Yeah.
And turns out later on, she goes, "Yeah, dude, you fucking scared him." I was like, "What?" So it turns out me watching TV on the couch scares people.
Because you didn't say anything, but just
what's up? Like, so that's my trick right there to scare people, is introduce me to the guy. I'm gonna tell Sophia, like, introduce me to the guy
when I'm watching a good show.
When I'm watching TV.
Yeah. Just be prepared. Find a good show to be really into that you don't want to be bothered.
Yeah,
and
then change it back to anime.
Yeah.
Yo, hold on.
Goku's about transforming it, so just give me a minute.
I'm watching Den of Thieves.
Yeah.
Go, shawty. Anyway.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. For some reason, I don't think about it too much right now.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's my first kid, so it's probably more I'm in the moment kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Like for me, it's like once she's old enough to start taking like classes or stuff like that, like martial arts, maybe.
It's a good thing.
For her.
Well, one thing also could probably help is like teaching your daughters that like they don't necessarily need a man to make it. And I'm not saying like, hey, you don't need a man or anything, like, but
oh yeah, dude,
like raising them not to be not to be damsels in distress kind of thing. Like, always have a man open the door for you, and also
that's the
chivalry is something, but like
I think that's the other side of the coin for like the Hispanic families. Like find yourself a man who's gonna take care of you, kind of thing, or pretty much any kind of family really.
But I mean, we know from experience about Hispanic families, so like. Yeah,
that, she ends up taking care of him, kind of thing. Sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like, if you don't know how to cook, you're not gonna find a good.
You know what my mom told my brother one day? She goes, "Go get yourself a girl from Mexico." But apparently they freaking act like they saw a ghost. She goes,
"Was she a girl from Mexico?"
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She goes, go to Mexico, get yourself some quentaya tortillas and stuff like that. And I'm like, Mom, have you seen the girls in Mexico? They're the same as here.
Yeah.
Freaking on their phone, TikToking, like
It's not the same.
it's not the same
Yeah,
anymore.
They left. They left and they still think everything's the same.
Yeah,
back
like
home.
if they go back, like all of a sudden there's horses down the street. Like no, like she lives in a small town.
Yeah.
But I'm like, where do you think my brother's gonna go? Deep into the jungle, forest, or whatever?
I still remember like they also kind of have like different views on like other different type of ethnicities and stuff. I still remember one time. This is when I was little. I think my grandma was like saying like, what kind of girls are you into and stuff, and it's nothing I was ever really comfortable talking to many people about.
Yeah.
But like she'd be like, do you like Mexican girls and stuff? And I was like, oh. I was like, yeah. I was like, I also like white girls too. And she's like, oh no, like they don't know how to cook. They don't know. I was like, how do you know that?
Like some of the best chefs out there.
Their perspective on like
Yeah.
American girl is that they don't have to do that shit. Like they don't have to clean. They have enough money that they don't have to do that, and they're all lazy. And it's like at the same time, I know a lot of lazy like other girls that aren't even like they had the same like. It's just that you live here. It's just different. It's not whether you're white or Hispanic or anything, but like you come to a different country that's not how like you were raised. It just really depends on how you were raised. Yeah. It's just not traditional, right?
Yeah, the American dream is like the wife stays home and she cooks and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So that they see that like
they're still thinking about the 50s.
Yeah, because everything was so convenient back then when all this new inventions started coming out. The microwave, the toaster, like they don't cook your food.
I can just picture
the crock pot.
Keep the women in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's on her feet all day.
Give her a pack of smokes while she boils these eggs. And this new trinket or whatever it's called.
Yeah. This new oven has a compartment where she can soak her feet in.
Yeah. So they're pretty much like lazy cooks is what they made them. They painted them like.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. But as long as your husband's fed, you're good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The joke was they make a sandwich and that's it. Like, that's all they know how to make.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not married to a white girl, so I want to know. So this is all just speculation here.
Yeah.
If anybody out here is married with a white woman, prove them wrong.
I mean, I am technically. She's white and Portuguese. Which
do you guys take a 23andMe test or whatever?
We did take a 23andMe test. Yeah, I did one too.
Yeah.
Yes, she did one too. We're a lot of European in both our bloods. I think we're like 46% native North American.
The moment I saw Greek on there's like, see babe, Greek god. And Jewish. For some reason there's Jewish in there. Ashkenazi Jewish.
We have I think I was 2% African.
Yeah.
For me, yeah.
Crystal's grandpa's side had like a percentage. Her attitude sometimes says she's a black or whatever.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I see it. I see it.
Like, oh, okay.
That's right.
Do you, boo, boo. That's what I get it from. That's where she gets that from. Great. Yeah. You know what's funny? My grandpa's middle name or last name, I can't remember. No, middle name. It was like Carrillo or something like that. Carrillo. Uh-huh. And Crystal's side of the family, there's a lot of Carrillos. So when we first started dating, we were talking to my grandma. And we were, she was obviously talking about how she knows her family, blah, blah, blah. And we're holding hands on the table. And they mentioned Carrillos. And we're just like...
Oh, like there's Carrillo in your guys'
yeah,
family?
so I was like, what if... And I told her, like, what if we're cousins? And then I moved my hand back. She's like... Luckily we're not, but I just took the opportunity.
You're like, well,
I mean, we're already in there, you know what I'm saying?
Why stop now?
Yeah. So you asked how the hospital sold us.
Yeah.
The whole experience. Did you guys get a chance to do a tour before?
I mean, obviously not.
No,
At that point,
I didn't even know. So we came through the back way.
So already you're.
Yeah. So I was lost. Like even to go to the bathroom, I'm like, the first time I went to the bathroom and like went down the hall and like went to go get a coffee or whatever.
Yeah. You go exploring late at night.
Yep, exactly. And they have the best snacks. So I would always go and get snacks.
Wait, Twin Cities or Sierra Vista?
Nah,
I could just see him coming back with like Dorito stains.
All right, let's do this.
I come back with sodas. I come back with chips.
No.
But like I said,
Was that at least something good to like keep your mind off when like the good? Sometimes I think your mind is clouded and you look for something to just kind of find like peace in, right? Would you say the snacks is kind of like for you? Where you like,
later on,
okay.
not
Not at the
much.
moment, but
in
you're
the
like
beginning, I didn't want to eat. I didn't really eat.
Oh, okay.
But I remember the first time I went to my truck, because I needed to get some fresh air. Like I said, it's like a jail.
Yeah.
It's like a jail. And I felt bad for her because she couldn't leave.
It's more like her. She couldn't get out.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I didn't want to just go home. I could have, but
you
I showed my support for her.
Yeah.
So I went. I needed some fresh air, and I went. I left. I asked like, how can I get out of here? And like they told me go down the elevator. But then on the way back, I'm like, shit.
I don't even
know where I'm at.
Yeah.
So I'd ask.
Yeah, man, this place really is big.
Yeah, you think it's big until you actually know the place, and you're like, oh, it's not that big. I mean,
there's just a lot of twists and turns in the hallways.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, it's a good sized hospital. It's just not huge neither.
I remember being at the hospital like super late. I mean, we were there for like 3-4 days, and I remember walking and I was trying to look for the vending machine late at night.
Here we go.
And like every freaking person that works there walking by. I didn't even ask the question. Oh,
They just
you're that way. Thanks, appreciate it.
Like how they know?
How they know? That's the only place to go for anybody who's staying there that's not working there.
So, yeah.
That was just too funny. Looking for the cafeteria? Yeah. Like, wait.
None of your business, but yeah.
No, I'm looking for your office. Like, no, when we did the tour, there was it was like when you going to go find a place to rent or something like that, and they give you like a little tour of the place before like they do a credit background check or something. And they'll they walk you through. There's typically one empty room that's just like a showroom kind of thing. So we saw that. I was like, oh, all right, that's a decent size. All right, cool. There's one bed. There's a couch. It pulls out, and you can sleep on there, or if you have to. There's that water/bath that you can give a water birth in that they showed us.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So usually it's like occupied, so
they only have
may
one.
or may not be.
Yeah,
the one.
one.
They may or may not be available, and I'm like, you're showing it to us right now. Like, how often is it not available
right now?
It's not available when we come in, right?
But when we need it.
But we need it. It's not like when it's
like
not
the
like
the McDonald's ice cream machine is down kind of thing.
Oh, dude, that's all conversation on another day, dude. You guys hear about that?
What, the McDonald's thing? Oh, I don't know if that's
apparently
true.
no.
Is it true?
There was a lot. I mean, I can.
It's internet, so whatever.
You can Google it if you want to. But apparently the company that made their
ice cream machine
made it to break on purpose, so they would be the only ones fixing it. They had like exclusive maintenance on it or something, so they obviously charged
like
to go fix
guy
it.
Who they sent around.
And they found someone who bypassed something and made like it's a computer chip or something that allowed them to be able to use it without like it reading error kind of thing. So McDonald's found that guy and they used his and replicated that same fix on all the other machines. So slowly but surely, all of them started fixing. The company that made the ice cream machine found out and tried to sue McDonald's for not letting them fix their own machines. And then that's where they started finding out. It was like, well, why are they breaking in the first place?
Yeah.
It's their fault.
So at that point,
I'm pretty sure they caught themselves in a bad situation.
They got McDonald's money; they'll be fine.
That's what I was gonna say. They probably made millions of McDonald's.
Probably McDonald's fix it, or whatever.
It's a franchise. At this point, they're like,
but
all right.
Let me ask you this: what's Jack in the Box reason?
I don't go to Jack in the Box. Is their ice cream machine down a lot?
Almost. It's been a long time since I've gone to McDonald's and Jack in the Box, but
maybe it's fixed now.
Probably show up. Can you get an Oreo shake? Yeah, I'm being told it's not working.
You know what was more bullshit about Jack in the Box? I remember. Do you remember
the tacos?
No, besides that. Actually, no, the tacos are okay, but
tacos haven't changed in price. People are wondering if we've been overcharged all this time, and now it's caught up to the right price.
Well,
think about it. 10 years ago, still $1 for two tacos.
I'm not complaining still, because if I think about other inflation, I'm like, well, at least those tacos stayed.
Yeah.
But you guys remember there's that like ranch shortage at? I always called it the ranch shortage at Jack in the Box. I swear, anytime you ask for more ranch,
yeah.
no, you can only get two fucking things of ranch. I can't finish my fries with all this.
2 napkins, 2 ketchups. Like,
No,
they were
like,
really
they almost
rationing.
acted like there was like some shortage, some ranch shortage.
I never got that experience. Every time I ask for ranch, I don't even tell them how many. They just put a bunch in.
I'm talking about like maybe 15 years ago or something. Maybe I was just going too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I mean,
think
they
so.
saw you. They're
Yeah.
trying to help you.
Like they're like, shit, this guy takes 5.
We're just gonna give them 2 now.
There was
Yeah.
a
Hey,
there
cut
was-
them off. It's like
there
a
was
freaking
probably
bar.
like there was probably like a picture of my picture, like a dumb picture. Like,
Yeah. They're like, yeah, oh, more ranch?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can only get 2. Like, they didn't specifically say we can only get customers
some
2.
candid.
They said you.
Yeah, I know. some candid picture of me like in the middle of blinking, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was
Halfway
just
through a
you
bite.
used to go a lot. That's why. Huh?
Maybe I did.
Yeah.
Maybe I did. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I thought
No,
that was bullshit.
it's been a long time since I've gone to McDonald's or Jack in the Box, but like I remember I worked at Taco Bell when I was a kid, and they had rules for that, like how many sauces, napkins per item,
Oh,
kind
yeah?
of thing.
Okay.
Like 1 packet of sauce for every like 2 burritos or something. It was something crazy like that. And I'm like, what? Fuck that! Like I'm hooking it up,
Yeah.
you know. And if we ever get caught, we get like, don't do that. But yeah, so if they tell you that, it's probably because of some corporate
shortage,
thing going on. No, it's just a corporate thing. You know, I don't know if there was a ranch shortage, but for sure
There was
they
a-
have like a minimum or maximum of what they can give you.
The great.
It's
like
usually you have to talk to the manager, and the manager's like, "Fuck it, here,
the
you
great,
know, I don't want
the
to deal
great hot sauce shortage of 2019 or something.
with it." Yeah, God, the toilet paper shortage of 2020.
Oh, fuck.
God damn.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh.
no, they at the hospital they sold us like we were gonna rent the place and stuff
Like
that.
a hotel. I
Yeah.
remember that. I had the
Like
same thing.
like you're buying a
nice-
timeshare. or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
And you're just like, so where you gonna stay? This is where all the nurses are. There's
Yeah,
always
I
5
remember
nurses
that,
on
yeah.
time. Blah, blah, the whole spiel and stuff like that. And
Oh, I remember that they were like, "Yeah, you can call us whenever you want to drink, and you're gonna here the hospital bed, and here's the couch." And
yeah, I think we were very lucky. Our nurses, we tried not to call them as much, and they came in every 2 hours, every hour. Like,
oh yeah, no, I'll give it up to the nurses. They were at least like helpful. I didn't have a bad experience with any nurses,
yeah.
but of course I'm not the one that was laying down on the bed there, But I was just there.
Yeah, I think there was one moment where we were there for so long, not as long as you guys, but we were long enough to where I fell asleep at some point on
Yeah.
the pullout, and I heard her doctor come in. Is like, oh, it looks like baby wants to come before I go on my vacation, whatever, right? It turns out Sophia wanted to stay in there a little bit longer, so we didn't get that doctor we wanted, right? We had to get somebody else. And I remember like being asleep, and I hear them talking, and I don't know what I did. But I looked up, and they were all looking at me. And I'm like... I put my head back down. I don't know if they were, like, waiting for me to get up or something, or, like, I farted while I moved or something. But there was literally... I remember a conversation happening between them, and then a pause as soon as I started moving. And I look up, and they were just like...
Just imagine if you did. And you're like, okay, better pretend I hear that. I'm gonna stop.
I'm sure they hear it more than you think.
Yeah, I mean, they have babies there, man. They
Yeah.
cut people open. Like, I'm sure they've seen and heard and smelt worse.
Probably.
One of the stories for me that I could go back was, we came in one time and then they're like, "Oh, your son, he's been very gassy." Between him and then the other baby, they've been playing tag the whole time. Like, so I'm sure they've heard a lot. And then another story, it's just a little bit off topic, but it was I didn't really want to do diapers at the time because he was so little.
Oh, you didn't want to change, yeah.
And like I said, he had a bunch of tubes and stuff. I didn't want to move him because he was also taking the tubes out of his nose and stuff. So I didn't want to really.
Not only was it your first baby syndrome, but like now you're like it's a
Yeah.
like,
So
he's-
like,
Yeah.
so they're like,
He looks
And he
probably
says-
way more fragile to you.
But no, but also at this time he was almost out of the hospital. I
Yeah,
didn't know
yeah.
at the time, so he looked way better.
So if he was pulling things out, he was like strong, then, right?
He was pulling things out since he was in the NICU. Like
He's like, I'm done with this shit.
yeah, he was like. And then
He was like
also-
Goku when he got out of the rejuvenation chamber. He just pulled it off.
They had to put a beanbag blanket to hold.
Oh,
him
to
down.
hold him down.
But
That's
he,
fine.
but he found a way to get out of it, and then
Yeah.
he was still. The nurses told us he was one of the one of the babies they had more trouble with, because he kept pulling stuff
Which
out.
is a good thing. I'm
yeah,
sure
no,
at
they
that
said
point,
they said it was a good thing because he's doing everything on his own.
yeah.
But anyway, so back to my story. So I had to change the diaper because Anissa was tired of changing diapers. She was like, "You need to learn, because eventually you're gonna have to do them."
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, all right, because he only went pee. So I was like, all right, cool. It's gonna be easy.
Like,
Easier.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah, I don't know if I told you the story, but
Yeah.
anyways, I was like, it's gonna be easier. So I'm like changing this diaper, and then I'm thinking to myself like, oh, it's pretty easy, you know, it's just pee. All of a sudden, he just explodes. My whole hand is covered in poop, and now I don't know what to do because like where do I don't want to drip because it was just watery.
I was wondering.
Yeah.
Okay. So he didn't have that like tarry poop.
No, it was watery.
It was watery, okay.
And then I'm like, and Anissa's laughing her ass off because I didn't want to do it. She made me do it, and
And then-
like, yeah, everything's on my hand. I don't know what to do. I call the nurse over. She's like, "Oh, let me help you." But then she's like, "Go ahead and wash your hands. I'll take over." Well, she's taking over. He does it to her too, and like she was like her whole hand, and I'm like, "Damn, like you guys go through a lot."
I think he liked his mom changing him.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Like
was
he
just,
felt foreign hands on him. You know what?
yeah,
Self-defense
Yeah,
mechanism.
I've been saving this one
or,
for
may,
just
or
this
maybe
moment.
or maybe he heard us like going through back and forth. I didn't want to change him, and he was just
Yeah.
like, "I'm gonna take this opportunity."
It's definitely your child.
Yeah, so he, yeah, so I don't know. It was funny, just like my whole hand, like literally my whole hand was covered in poop, and I didn't know what to do. And then what made it funnier was that he did it to the nurse too, and
Yeah.
and then she had to like,
You got a point blank shot.
yeah. So then it's like, I'll help you guys out, and then like, yeah, but yeah, it was a funny experience. Not at the time, but now it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Of course.
So we reached our time limit because
Oh,
I
yeah.
gotta start
Get
work.
the what is the which button do we have?
Like for the outro?
No, for that. No, that one. No, that's the wrong one. I'll forget it. There we go. That's
yeah, I
our
totally
little
forgot about
cue.
that part.
Yeah,
See,
that's our
it
little
has been
cue
a month.
for. No, it really has been a month. No,
Uh,
yeah.
But before we end it, real quick, I need to give a shout out to my homie Pepe. I was not expecting that. But anyway,
Go ahead.
no, but to the homie Pepe Landin from Templeton, I went to my comadre's surprise birthday party. He was there, and he told me he was listening to your guys' podcast, that he's a big fan. So I told him I'd give him a shout out.
Is that I think that's who's following me on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because
I saw that too.
I had a
today.
couple people. I'm like,
Yeah,
I saw that and I was
take it where I
like,
can.
Yeah, I was like, wait, you're listening to it? And he's like, you posted it? He's like, I went through it. I'm listening to it. I'm a fan. And then he said he started following you guys.
yeah, I
So,
saw that too,
yeah.
and I was like,
I
oh,
was
he's
like-
following my brother, so
I was
just
like, oh, he's following Walter. So
yeah, I'll get a follow back. I
So-
was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks a lot. Thanks for all of that.
we have an email.
We have an email, 2dadsinapod@gmail.com. That's TWO dadsinapod@gmail.com, just in case. We're always open for,
suggestions,
suggestions,
stories you want to share.
you want to share, you want us to share for you. And of course, we're open to having guests.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I really enjoyed doing this, and hopefully you guys bring me back up here again.
Oh yeah, anytime.
Sure.
Anytime. Yeah.
Peace out.
Later, guys.
Peace.